You're through your computer.
Well, I don't know. Now, see, this is already so. Look at that. Say, way to go, Ken. Yo, yo, yo. That's right. So listen, it's to the thing. You told me to hit the button.
Yeah, you went live, but you didn't have it on the right camera.
All right, so now what? You
I
want
don't
me to fix that or what?
I don't care. Oh, there. That's right.
No, that's
Oh,
a
that's
different.
live.
I got 3 going. Anyways, back to the show.
Okay.
All right, so listen. Ken Goldberg's Law and Disorder with your host, AJ.
No. Host.
And her sidekick, Ken. All right? So there's some really interesting news. I want to get to news right away, and then I'm going to get into some.
Can we introduce ourselves?
I thought I just
Not
did.
really.
Oh, well, excuse me.
Yeah, you have to give a little more of an announcement before we start. This is Ken Goldberg from Ken Goldberg's Law and Disorder. And Ken used to have a radio show a decade ago. Something like that. At least a decade. Anyway, here in Dallas, and we are doing a podcast, and he is the host. Me is the sidekick, AJ, and I'm from Dallas Yoga Magazine and Cosmic Yogi Festivals. And we've both been in recovery for a long time, and that is where we actually, well, I shouldn't say that's where we met. We met prior to that, but you don't remember. I think it was, it was a low time, and it was a low time in Ken's life.
When I was so low, I could crawl under a pregnant snake. Okay? And when my life was such a day in and day out desperation of
yeah, it wasn't good. Ken was not living the high life at that point in time. But anyway, he didn't even remember. It's very disappointing, but that's okay.
I used to have people come up to me on the street back in Dallas because I had the DFW gun range and 2 or 3 nightclubs. Right. People walk up to me and say, "Hey, Ken Goldberg," and I'd be like, I'm grasping. And so I'm like, DFW gun range? And this guy says to me, no, I listen to your radio show.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, how do you know it's me?
Right, because back then we didn't have the internet and everything. Right.
He's like, oh, I recognize your voice.
That's so cool, though. That's
and
awesome.
Before that, I was doctor sent me to voice therapy, A. Leonard, and the program director at the station said, if you repair your voice, I will fire you.
Oh.
Yeah. He likes the gravel sound. This gravelly sound is the result of a bar fight on Greenville Avenue outside my bar in the parking lot when I was 50-something years old.
In Lower Greenville?
No, we were in Upper Greenville. We were at Lovers and Greenville.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought it was lower.
No.
Okay.
So listen, here's some news of national interest. Michael Avenatti was arrested and charged with embezzlement.
Now tell everybody who he is for those of the people who
I
have
will,
to ask
because so far AJ is the only human being I know that
I
doesn't
just
know
didn't know the dude's name, okay?
So Michael Avenatti represents Stormy Daniels in her
The porn star.
non-disclosure case, suing over the ability to disclose her relationship with Donald Trump. He's also done some other stuff.
Did they lose? How did that
And
end
then
up?
he threatened to run for president of the United States.
No, he did not. Seriously?
Jiminy.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
So, and he was a darling of the media. He does well on TV. He really does. And he's a guy, and he's smart. But, people said he was shady. Stormy Daniels fired him not too long ago. He had some other clients. He was parlaying his public media presence into making some money, but there were accusations that he owed a lot of money, and that he was behind in his bills. He was going to get kicked out of his offices. So, according to the federal government, he contacted Nike over a
that's a little weird.
Something to do with
didn't really say
college. Well, something to do with college representation.
Okay.
He said that he was going to damage Nike, and if they didn't pay a lot of money, he was millions of dollars. He was going to damage them.
You can't do that.
Can't do that.
You can't
That sounds
do that.
like extortion. You can say, we're going to be filing this lawsuit. We're going to give you a chance to settle before we file. But you can't say, if you don't do this, I'm going to, anyways. So allegedly, and even more important, I don't care if you try to extort Nike, seriously. But he also supposedly settled the case of over $1 million for a client, but waited to tell the client that he'd received the money. In the meantime, he used the money to pay back bills he owed.
Right.
And you can't do that. If you improperly handle client funds, you're in trouble. You're in trouble with the Bar Association.
Right, you lose your license.
So he may lose his license.
Mhm.
And now, having said all that, and it's been on Facebook all day, people going, oh, what's going on? I just want to say to the world, I'm not a big conspiracy guy. In fact, I'm probably the last guy to go concerned about conspiracies. But in this case, you attack the president, big.
Yes.
Okay. And suddenly the Justice Department files against you. I'm not saying it's true, but retaliation should be
it looks that way.
considered a possibility.
It definitely is a
Okay.
possibility. But so I wonder how she paid him. The porn star.
Contingent case.
Oh, I thought maybe it was through other ways.
Well, why would you suggest that? Why would you denigrate her to think that she had to do that in order
She's
to
a porn
secure
star. She enjoys
representation?
that. It wouldn't be a problem.
Please excuse AJ.
It wouldn't be a problem.
Please.
I would think she'd like that deal better.
Actually, on to bigger news. The Jussie Smollett case. Is that you?
I don't know. Go ahead.
So the Jussie Smollett case was a Chicago case. Jussie Smollett, a fairly young, black, gay male from TV.
Cute.
And maybe movies. I don't really know. Until Jussie did this,
Very talented.
I didn't even know who he was. To denigrate him, I'm not that.
It's a great show.
I don't want. I watched half the first season and decided it was over the top. So Jussie Smollett said, this is kind of funny and kind of not funny. I'm watching TV this morning. Suddenly they come on and they say, all 19 felony charges were dropped with nothing, just dropped and dismissed. And his arrest record is going to be purged and he's free to go. And they've got this press conference set up downstairs in the courthouse. This courthouse, it's a 26 California, Chicago. That's where I did most of my practice. It's the felony courthouse. So his lawyer comes down, one of his many. Garagos was one of his lawyers. And they're all making statements wherever they were in the country.
Sure.
They're celebrating. And so they and weirdly, he had to sacrifice, I don't know, $15,000 cash bond that he had.
That's a pair of his
if you're
shoes.
exonerating somebody, if you're throwing their case out, why do you keep their bond? So here was my theory. I made this up, but it's a good one. For those of you in Chicago.
We are ready.
And elsewhere, the Chicago Police Department chief, when they indicted him, he went on and he carried on about what a bad thing this was for Chicago, for the nation.
I remember all that.
Jussie had done all this. And so I'm thinking, if I'm a defense attorney, I'm in the courtroom, judge, could we go in chambers? Yeah, sure. Prosecution, everybody goes in there, the clients don't. And you say, Judge, I'm going to have to ask for a change of venue, because if you see what the police chief said, and by the way, Judge, I don't even know a venue where I can get a fair trial, because this was broadcast nationally.
Right.
Now it's just a state case. So usually you go to an adjacent county.
But there's no way. Right.
And I could imagine a judge going, hey, Miss Prosecutor, I don't see how you're going to pull this off. Right. So I can see him saying, you can do what you want to do, but at some point I'm going to dismiss the case. You can go to trial. And then when they go to when the state rests, you always make a movement for judgment on the verdict anyways. You're saying, listen, even if everything the prosecution said, you're learning something about the law. Even if everything the prosecution said is true, they didn't prove up a case. So if this went to a jury right now, say, Judge, just throw this out right now.
Right.
I've never won a case at that point, by the way, but I always make the motion. Then it goes puts on its case. Because up until the end of the prosecutor's case, not up till the end, the burden in a criminal case is always on the prosecution. So if they haven't proven their case before you do nothing, the case is dead.
Right.
Follow the, yeah. So I'm thinking that the judge hammered somebody on this. But so people had theories.
Okay, what's another theory?
People were percolating. Somebody asked me, could you pay your way? Was that you?
Yeah, I just assumed that he just paid them.
I've never heard it. Well,
he could have paid the people that
were
were
buy judges back in the day.
Well, not that. I was thinking more that he paid the people who said they did it to him to revoke their statement or something.
No, they may have recanted, but
Yeah.
nobody said they did.
Right, exactly.
So so they went down and they did a press conference, and this one lawyer, she's up there and she's talking about the pretrial publicity, which is what I'm thinking. And then other lawyers were, this pretrial publicity. So, and then Jussie got up and started talking. And I'm like, Jussie,
just shut
if
up.
I was your lawyer, I'd tell you to shut up, go home.
Just shut up and go home.
Don't do anything, because
I agree.
you're schooling with the Chicago Police Department, right or wrong, just stop. You're not a lawyer, babe.
Right.
You're out there, you're defenseless.
What did he do?
Well, he just, talked about how he'd always been innocent. He was innocent. Well, the police chief happened to be at a graduation ceremony for the academy. Well, he didn't know this was coming down. Says he didn't. He rushes out and does a press conference with the mayor. Man, they're throwing Jussie under the bus. I mean, they're like, this scoundrel, this scum, we worked hard on this.
But they already dismissed the cases.
But they still tried him in the media.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there was nothing they could do at that point, right?
No,
they can't bring the
they
case
can't
back
do
or
anything.
anything. Okay.
Well, I don't know if it was dismissed with prejudice. I believe it was.
Okay.
But I wasn't in the courtroom. So Teresa joined us, but she may have left. Because they don't tell you when people leave. They tell you people come in, but they don't tell you they leave.
Okay.
And
I don't pay attention.
You don't have the usual
I don't pay
numbers.
attention. I just keep going.
I pay attention.
I just keep going.
All right, so we're gonna do some.
Well, I heard that he's coming back to the show, that they had worked a deal with him. That's what
well,
I heard.
that was probably the only way he was getting back on
As
the
if-
show,
right.
was to have this dismissed, because anything else, and I think he was cooked.
No, I
they
did
already
too.
fired
I
him.
was, and
They were
I don't know how they would have
fired, right?
continued with that show without him.
Yeah.
He's so freaking talented. I'm sorry.
I don't know Jussie.
He's super talented. Mhm.
He, from the moment he made the accusation, there were concerns in Chicago, because I mean, that's where most of my friends and
Right.
family are. There were concerns immediately
Right.
about the nature of this and the accusation.
How weird it was.
It was a weird thing.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't turn over his phone, which I'm cool with that. I didn't have any problem with that. But nobody knowing the video cameras, and it was in a part of town where there, tends to be some action. How did you find a place with no cameras?
Yeah.
So
I know.
there was some concerns. So now we're going to do some short stories. Then we got two longer stories for you.
This first one's just disgusting.
So Oregon is the latest of 27 states to
Oh,
make it
God.
legal to take home roadkill.
Who the hell is going to stop their car and pick up a raccoon and take it?
Yes, you say that, but I've known people ever since I moved to Texas.
That
I've known
eat
people-
raccoons?
Whatever it is, it's
Really?
roadkill.
Oh my God.
So you go home. I think he lives in Chicago. So, okay, so here's how it works. This is fascinating to me. Road killers get a permit via a mobile app within 24 hours of the accident and agree to eat the meat,
Oh my God.
whatever it is, at their own risk.
Oh
The
my God.
Meals Under Wheels law, this is the writer. That's
Meals
not what
on
they call it.
Wheels?
He apologized.
Isn't
for
that the
doing
old people's food that goes to their house?
It requires they submit the head and antlers of the dead
Oh
animal.
my God.
So if it's got antlers, it's not a raccoon,
No, it's a deer.
okay? And they have to submit the antlers of the dead animal to the state for research and to ensure nobody's engaged in hunting by SUV. So
Oh
far,
my God. I'm sorry. That's hilarious. Excuse me, I'm going hunting. May I take the SUV tonight? I'm going to go run over a deer for dinner. I mean, seriously, guys.
I want to apologize to anybody who's tuned in for AJ's
Serious?
tonight. I have hunter friends, and while I am not a hunter, nor have I ever been,
SUV.
I'm not whether you hunted with your SUV. I'll tell you what.
I'm judging. If you're hunting with your SUV, I'm judging. Okay, we're doing that.
That's
No.
she does reel out of control quickly, doesn't she? So here's what I was going to interject.
Yes.
If she stops. The Salt Lick hunter.
Oh, it's just as bad.
Do you know?
Yeah.
No, it's worse.
It is.
It's worse because you're sitting there with a rifle, or I guess
there's no skill in that either.
And you put out a salt lick, which attracts the animals, and while they're sitting there licking the salt, you kill them. That to me is reprehensible. You got a better chance. You got a better chance running across the road against the next
I'm not into hunting, so.
than you do walking up to a salt lick. So far, more than 200 animals have made it to the dinner table.
How are they going to prove they ate those? No, seriously, it says
Well,
you must eat them. Well, how do they know? They go from house to house checking to make sure you ate the roadkill you killed.
No, you just have to agree to eat it.
Okay, but you don't have to because.
No, you don't. But you have to send the head and the
Oh
antler.
my God! Who the hell is going to take that time to do that?
So back to the show. Oh look, Kathy and somebody else. I can't read it because I've got 3.
I know you have me off over here. Look, I'm not even on the screen, but don't worry about it. It's okay. Hi,
Oh,
Hi,
I see what happened.
I said it's not on the camera. It's on this
Oh.
camera. Oh my Lord!
my
Now
God.
this could take a
Hey,
while.
you take over the
Oh
show.
my
Let me
God!
figure out. What
Okay, back to this roadkill. SUV hunting, really? Okay, bow hunting. Okay, I'm not into hunting, but at least bow hunting's skillful. And you're out chasing the wild pig. It shows skill. And you're not like putting the wild pig in a situation. Oh my God, roadkill. Who takes roadkill home? Oh my Lordy, I don't even know what to say to that.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to close down and restart. Is that the only way to do it?
I don't know.
By the way, Kathy checked in, but she had to go to dinner.
Oh, okay.
All right. So
Okay.
I know of no way to change the camera.
Okay.
So, anyways, I could turn this.
That's a little better, like mine's turned.
All right. So back to the show. Yes, Kathy, you can see both of us because you're on Facebook and we're using the right camera. It's YouTube, that's using the wrong camera.
He purposely cut me off of YouTube because I look so cute today.
This is going to be a good story.
Okay.
Okay, this is the New Zealand massacre. New Zealand has banned the publication. I'll bet you.
Oh, this is interesting. Yeah.
Insurance premiums will go up on Jeeps and SUVs. Hunt with your vehicle because if you hit
your vehicle is screwed.
Well, yeah, people die.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that, anyways.
I
think we beat that story to death. Okay.
Boo.
So free speech has.
Yay.
New Zealand has banned the publication of the manifesto written by the accused shooter. Okay? Anyone caught with
accused shooter. The real shooter, but accused. Just saying. I love how they have to say accused shooter. They catch him, they know he did it, but they still have to say accused. I'm sorry, I'm paid.
She just trips me out. Just trips me out. Okay. I never know what will set her off. I mean, it's not like we're close enough to know we can finish each other's sentences. Not only can we not finish each other's sentences, when we do, it's wrong. Oh, God. All right.
Okay, I apologize. I'm back.
Anyone caught with it downloaded to their computer or with copies could face 10 years or more in prison. So critics, of course, are going to say, that's uncool, man. You're just going to make people more interested. Prohibition, right?
Yeah.
The government says they consider that possibility, but the document justifies killing children and acts of terrorism. So it was to be treated like other propaganda from groups such as the Islamic State. I don't have an opinion. I thought that's whacked. Well, yeah, okay, so I did have an opinion, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. All right.
Now, next. So
what should they have done?
But, you know,
Not said anything and just
first
let it
off,
go.
New Zealand, you know, when New Zealand had this shooting, the next day, the prime minister said, we're going to ban assault weapons. And everybody said, look at that. See how quickly they did that? One day and they're done.
But it's
well,
really
it
not
wasn't
banned.
that easy.
Right.
First off, you know, they don't have, they may have a constitution. We're encumbered and liberated simultaneously by the fact that we have a constitution, and a constitution down
Absolutely.
these processes on the advantages it protects certain rights. You don't have those protections in the crown, under the crown, whether it's New Zealand,
Right.
Australia, or.
I mean, I see what they were trying to do, but at the same time, they got to realize that that just made people want to read it more.
So, and by the way, apparently they did get the ban on assault weapons through. I read on semi-automatic weapons, that's pretty all-encompassing. That only leaves revolvers. So I don't know if they did that, because the media doesn't know the difference between a semi-automatic and anything
You
else.
can't compare New Zealand to the United States when it comes to the number of guns either. They don't have the kind of number of guns
I
we
heard
have over
there's
here.
some hunting folks down there. I heard they like their guns, but I don't know.
I don't think
I ain't
that's-
never been to New Zealand. All right, next article. The Arizona Court of Appeal has affirmed the Superior Court's judge holding a final decision denying plaintiff's application for a medical marijuana dispensary. And here's why. So before you can open your dispensary, you have to get certified. And by the way, not cheap, crazy. That's why eventually it's going to be all big business
Right.
in the marijuana business. So driving takes skill. Look at me. I'm trying to read what people are saying. So, back to the show. You got to be 500 feet from a school.
No, yes, okay, and not 1,500? I believe you.
500 feet.
Okay, there's
Okay.
usually like gentlemen's clubs and stuff have to be a certain, it's longer. So I was thinking it was the same distance.
424 feet they are, and so they were denied their registration
Interesting.
on that basis because school includes the boundaries. So it's not the school itself. It can be the playground.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh, yeah, no, it could be,
It
yeah,
could be the garage
Yeah.
that's associated where
Anything.
they park the buses.
anything.
Yeah.
And they could have gone and rented an office in a building and said they were a church and then permit. They used to do in Dallas.
There you go.
Mhm.
So
But no, somebody in Dallas would never do something like that.
I wonder if the inference was, Science the Optimist, driving takes skill.
About the,
So I'm
That should
thinking
be.
that's in reference to hunting.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's in reference to
Mhm.
that, right? So I'm quick. AJ want anything from Starbucks?
No, but thank you, Stacia. I have your tea
Do you
here.
not know
And
how
I
easily
have
I'm
your
distracted?
pretzel. And I got your sister's pretzels. Yay.
All right, so I'm getting to the heart of the show now. It's 6:24. And Stacia laughs as she does it. Knows that, I'm gonna read this.
I know,
I'm gonna be distracted.
Thank you, Stacia.
So this I found interesting. So
This is really cool. This is
under the
intense.
law,
Mhm.
for some time now, don't ask me when, it has been illegal to have been convicted of domestic violence
Mhm.
and to still own a gun.
Yes.
Okay? That's probably, I don't know, maybe, is that 20 years old or something?
I thought it was older.
It
but-
was, no, it can't be. It happened while I owned DFW.
Oh, really?
Coverage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then it's,
So,
okay, so 20 years or so.
yeah.
Okay.
So there's always, listen, anytime you're talking guns,
Mhm.
you're talking illegal use, it's a hotbed, right?
Right, no, it's crazy.
Okay.
yeah.
Really freaking interesting. Pay attention now. Aaron Neely Cox, a Trump-appointed U.S. attorney for the District of Texas, that's us,
Yes, it is.
okay, held a press conference to discuss the actions her office is taking to reduce deaths from domestic violence. She says not only theoretically we prosecute you for firearm possession. If you're prohibited, we will prosecute you. And here's what she's done. Since 2017, when she was sworn in, she has established a fairly aggressive record prosecuting domestic abusers who unlawfully keep guns. In the fiscal year 2018, she prosecuted 23 people, and the primary charge was unlawful gun possession
Because they
had a previous domestic violence misdemeanor.
It was a misdemeanor
conviction.
or felony? Oh.
Well, typically, if the underlying offense was was a misdemeanor, I mean, domestic violence
Is a felony.
No,
Oh.
no, I was going to say. So you've got misdemeanor domestic violence
Okay.
charges,
Okay.
and you've got felony ones.
Okay.
Here, let's go down memory lane. When they passed this law, whenever it was any domestic violence charge that you were convicted of. Well, it played havoc in the country because, first off, people have been pleading guilty to years for domestic violence, Class C, for instance, in Texas, because there's no jail time. You pay a fine. So you're standing in front of a judge, lawyer says, it's a good deal. It's just a fine.
It's not
Pay the fine, let's go.
It's that they don't have to pay lawyers too.
Well, these are people, a lot of these people had lawyers.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking that
Now,
this
I
was
know
some-
plenty of people that had lawyers. And the
Okay,
lawyer
okay.
said it's a Class C. There was no prohibition against the gun thing,
Mhm,
is my point.
mhm.
This law applied ex post facto,
Gotcha.
okay? So what was interesting is the number of police officers who are now prohibited from carrying a firearm. Yes, many police officers across the country had to be taken off the streets
No.
and put on desk duty. And frankly, I don't remember the outcome because I sold the gun range and I moved on. So,
Wow.
so far, our district has the highest prosecution record of late for these prosecutions for possession of a firearm by even a misdemeanor or felony. Anybody
Wow.
who's got domestic violence.
Okay.
If you have a domestic violence conviction in your record, what level, you can never purchase a firearm.
I had no idea.
So you walk into the gun store, and it
Mhm.
wasn't a big deal. You didn't think it was a big deal. Your lawyer
It's a
didn't think
big
it was
deal.
All that you can't own the gun.
Okay.
And in many states now, the judge automatically orders at the end of the case, orders you to surrender any weapons in your possession. And in California, they're now trying to figure out, because they realized, I did that story here somewhere, the number of offenders who never brought in their guns.
Of course. Would you?
Was in the thousands.
I don't answer that.
So in California, because it's a sheriff's problem, it's not the feds.
Right.
They're trying to put together a task force
To go in
to
and
follow
take
up, look at everybody, and then go to their house.
Well, it doesn't sound good.
What doesn't sound?
To go into their house if they're pissed off and they have a gun.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, seriously, why wouldn't they just hide their gun?
Well, I guess listen, we just smashed down the door. I don't know.
I mean,
Here's a good statistic. It's not a good statistic. It's interesting.
but the reason, yeah.
There's been an 80% increase in the past 2 years of the number of people charged across the board, okay? A woman is shot to death.
They can't see you.
A woman is shot to death, according to this, by a current or former romantic partner
This is interesting.
every 16 hours.
I don't believe, that is so friggin' hard to believe. I believe you that that's the statistic. I read it too, but that's every 16 hours.
Well, I'm
Someone-
sorry. Let me qualify this. The FBI said it.
There you go.
And
And
we all know from listening to
it's-
Trump
there you go.
that the FBI has no credibility whatsoever. This is fake news. I apologize for even bringing this up.
But I think it's so, I mean, like, wow.
Abused women are 5 times more likely to die if their abuser has access to a gun.
Well, that makes sense.
I don't know.
I mean, if somebody's mad, they're going to shoot them.
Well, people used to come to me, some regular, some frequency, and ask me about getting a restraining order against their boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever.
Mhm.
My answer was, I'm happy to go to court and do this for you. But I need to say this. If your significant other is not afraid of incarceration, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Because this does not dissuade the type of person who's going to kill you anyway.
Right.
Because we know
It's
historically they will kill you in the courthouse.
Right.
There were cases in Milwaukee. They stepped out of they stepped out of the courtroom and he stabbed her right in front of the sheriff's.
Wow.
That's that quick. And just the judge
He didn't
just put
care.
a restraining order on him.
Oh,
You know. So the person, you gotta understand.
depressing.
You gotta understand the beast you're dealing with. If you're dealing with a guy that if you honestly don't think he's afraid of going to jail, you should probably
Leave.
just have your parents hire somebody to beat him to within an inch of his life.
Ken is not supporting hiring somebody to beat another
No, I'm
person
just
up.
saying that's the only solution that seems viable if you don't want to be harassed.
Go make some friends with some bikers.
I would say, yeah, absolutely. And you know, listen, did I ever recommend to somebody that they take a baseball bat in the middle of the night to their significant other? Statute of limitations.
No, he's joking, people. He's joking.
I mean, listen, if you're getting beat by a man,
No, I mean,
and I
honey,
know many a woman
I wouldn't take a
who is
baseball
being-
bat to him
who is
if I'm being beaten.
beaten by a larger male person in the household,
It's understandable
and
that she
I
would do
felt
something.
that the most economical, most viable, most efficient method of thwarting the problem was to haul up and bust that son of a bitch,
But why use the bat?
as opposed to what?
A gun.
Because you don't want to kill him.
Oh, really?
No, you want to put something on his mind. You know, I've told y'all
But
before.
if she really-
Tiny, my friend Tiny.
Okay.
Did we talk about him here?
I don't know.
Anyways, Marshall, my friend from the south side of Chicago, used to say, when you beat a man, beat him so badly, he don't want to ever bother with you again. And I saw Tiny do that. He would beat
But
him.
that's a problem because if you go too far, then he's dead and then you'll get in trouble.
But
you might get in
he
trouble
said,
either
"Joe,"
way.
I said, with a baseball bat.
Oh,
You know, listen, let me be forthright as I can be under the circumstances. By the way, we're broadcasting on Ken Gober's Law and Disorder YouTube channel.
that's the best one.
We're broadcasting on Facebook.
Yep.
We got
Facebook?
AJ's Facebook, Ken's Facebook, Law and Disorder Facebook. We're all over the place. What was my point?
I don't know. You switched gears on me. I think you were trying to get out. I think you were transitioning.
Yeah, 6:34.
Okay.
It's time to transition.
Transition.
Right?
This is a smooth
By the way,
transition too.
as I ease my way into this, I do want to give a shout out to the conservatives of America who have now decided
This is going to be interesting.
to take up the banner of throwing Mueller under the bus after they just spent hours hailing his report.
Okay.
I'm with you. Mueller's a piece of junk. His report, nothing. Let's start over. Okay? I just want to say, because I spend a lot of time reading the news. Very few of you spend as much time reading the news as I do.
I agree.
Okay? On analyzing. And I'm telling you, it's kind of ridiculous to watch these guys going, he's been fully exonerated. That Mueller. Oh, and then somebody called the president. I don't know who he is. He apparently sent out memos to TV stations saying, these people accused me of collusion. You should not have them as guests. Senators.
Who, Trump
Congress
sent this to them?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. Okay.
Freedom of press.
Got that off my chest.
Good. Does it feel better?
God,
Feels better.
have mercy.
Yes.
I hope Fox sends me some
I know, right?
it's a bicycle
What do you
Yeah.
need? Put it out there.
Yeah, the station would probably tell me not to wear it because it's probably prohibited. It's like some sort of
Oh,
prohibition.
never thought about that.
All right, so, let's talk social commentary. Important social commentary. The cost of the war on drugs.
Yeah, this is quite interesting.
This just pains me.
I know.
And
It's changing. No?
no,
A little bit?
no,
Okay.
no. We just had Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General, talk about pot being a gateway drug. And he wanted to go back into the states that had passed medical marijuana and recreational laws, and he wanted
I
to
didn't
sit the
realize he
federal
did that.
government on them.
Oh, my God.
We're not making a lot of progress. Where do you keep making old white men? I have been saying easily for 20 years, 20 plus years, that when the old white men die, and
The
by
world
them,
will be a different world.
yeah, by them I primarily meant like appellate judges, trial judges, because if you ever tried a case in Chicago in front of an old Irish male,
Oh, Lordy.
I'm going to tell you, it's a kangaroo court unless you've got a priest or some Irish kid, at least very minimal. Got to be Catholic. So, God help you if you represent people of color in front of an old Irish guy, right?
Or a Jew.
Yeah. You mean the judge being a Jew or me?
No, you being
Yeah,
Jewish
oh,
in
yeah.
front of the Catholic judge.
You ain't lying.
I know.
Oh, honey. So,
Did you tell him you repented and turned Catholic so you could get a lesser sentence?
did I tell you about the gun charge I got convicted of?
Yeah.
Take a little stroll down memory lane. So I'm 21 years old. I own firearms legally. Okay, I've got my card in Illinois. I bought the gun legally. Everything's pretty copacetic except for the fact that it's loaded and on my person.
So there's no carry laws.
There's no carry law at
No
that
carry
time.
laws at that time.
The last state in the United States to allow carry
I
was
didn't know.
Illinois.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Mhm.
So I used to own a 3-wheel motorcycle. Really?
Oh, you said a truck? I had trucks too.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
was an old Harley Cervicar, 1959.
Very cool.
And I had a rickshaw cover. It was sweet, right?
Oh,
But it broke down all the time. So I had to carry a handgun. I think it was a 32 Beretta, semi-automatic. So I pull into a gas station. It starts raining.
mhm.
And my bike wasn't that reliable. I pulled in at 59th and Wentworth. For those of you who live in Chicago, 59th and Wentworth is probably not the hippest place to be for a white kid, but I was there. And I went in and I said to the owner or whoever, I said, can I leave my bike in your driveway and I stand here? And he said, sure. So I went out to put my bike up against the wall.
Okay.
And there was some white guys pulled up kind of fast and kind of almost slid up to the tank right in front of me. So they're facing me in my bike.
Okay.
And they really look white. I mean, they look like biker type guys maybe in a raggedy station wagon. So they get out and they're looking at me. They're supposed to be pumping gas, cleaning windshield, whatever you're going to do. But one guy staring me down, and I ain't doing nothing, mind you. I'm dressed for motorcycle.
Okay.
So I reach into the trunk of my motorcycle.
This is where the story goes astray.
This was kind of interesting. I took my firearm and I wrapped it up in a shirt that I had in a trunk, trike, right?
Do not try this at home, children.
And I pointed at him. The guy that, and he walked right up to me. And he says to me, do you have a gun pointed at me? This is unnerving, right?
Did you say yes, mofo?
I said, are you thinking of stealing my bike? And he said, I'm not going to steal your bike. And I said, then I'm not going to shoot you. And he turned and walked away, and I put the gun up. And, the gun was in a...
Right. So he couldn't see it.
Right. And I went and I parked my bike.
So you thought that was okay because he couldn't see it.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to be discreet.
I understand.
I had to pull the gun out
But
south side of Chicago, and they're waving it around. everybody would have called the cops. So I go back in the gas
They
station.
would have shot you and walk back in the house.
I park at the side of the gas station. I walk in, and 6 squad cars pull up.
Oh, Jesus.
And so the owner, I'm standing there kind of, I think I might have been chatting with him. He steps out. I step out. What's the action?
Right.
And we step out of the gas station, the inside, and he turns and he points at me and he says, yeah.
The owner?
Yeah, he points at me.
Why?
He says, that's him. So, everybody draws down on me.
What did the owner say you did?
He said he thought later, I heard, he thought me and those other 3 guys were there to rob the gas station. He thought we were together.
Oh.
Isn't that a stitch?
No.
Scroll down. I want to see what's going on.
That's
Scroll on.
That's awful, though, that they thought that.
So, you didn't. It just didn't go down.
Is there? So
Dwayne
that's
Johnson. That's The Rock. The Rock is famous.
Oh, Dwayne.
So,
So seriously?
so I went to jail.
Oh my Lord. Well, you shouldn't have had the gun on. That was the law.
What was the point of the story?
This what the story is to show what a dingleberry you were at 21. And so they just dropped the truck. Well, no, you had to.
Irish judges.
With the Jew.
So
Irish judges with the Jew. Let's hear what happens in court.
So I go to court. It's gun court. And gun court was so crowded, they had a judge up on the bench, and then this little room in the back where the lawyers meet was another court.
Oh.
So I walked back there. It's my first time up. And the judge, did we not do this? Anyways, he goes,
I don't remember this.
Ken Goldberg, 4950 Chicago Beach Drive. Mr. Goldberg? Yes, sir. Yeah, I don't have a lawyer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he says, you live at 4950, and I said, yeah, my parents live there.
Right.
And did I tell this story? To somebody?
No, would you keep going? I want to hear this. I remember
told
stories.
Somebody. So the judge says my old law partner lives there, Mr. Hickey. Do you know him? I said, oh yeah, he lives in the building. It's a small building. Right. There's only 36 apartments in the whole building. And so I said, yeah. And he said, well, do you know who I am? Well, I don't know who he is. Okay. First off, he doesn't have a nameplate. Okay. He fished around, found his nameplate, and he put it out, and his last name is Cusack. The names are not being changed to protect the innocent. So I'm thinking to myself, this must be Tommy's father. Tommy went to Mount Carmel, and his side job was pushing Jewish kids around. Oh. So I said, oh, I used to play with your son. Right. I mean, what was I going to say? Right, your son beat me up all the time. Anti-Semite? Yeah. Not a good idea. Oh, Tommy's not my son. That's my nephew. Okay. So I'm thinking, maybe I'm going to get a little play. He said, well, let me tell you something, buddy. You're going to plead guilty. I'll give you probation. Let's get this taken care of. And I said, yeah, no. That's not the plan. I'm not going to plead guilty. He said, well, you better get a lawyer then. Okay. So I left to go get a lawyer, and I knew this cop. He wrote tickets. Right. And he heard what happened, and he said, tell me, who's who, what. I told him. And he said, let me help you. I said, okay, sure. So I had been arrested by an Italian and a Polish police officer. Okay. So this police officer, I don't remember his name. I remember the other 2 guys because they're on my rap sheet. So they, not right, don't do it right in the middle of the show.
It's just
well, you're going to see. I can't ignore you.
Yeah, you're fine. Go ahead.
So look at this. Deliver. She didn't ask me if I want anything.
That was for you.
It's for you. That's not mine.
For me?
One that's sweet.
Oh, well, thank you then. Of course.
Now he's being all nice because now he finds out that it was for you.
So he goes to, it's 50th in Wentworth. It's a district where they arrested me. And he says, go to court. Don't worry about it. I talked to their sergeant. Everything's cool. Just go to court. So again, I don't have a lawyer. Okay. So I go down to the courthouse, And these two cops come in and they're like, come here. Okay. And step in the hallway. We go out in the stairwell and they said, you think you can talk to our sergeant and get a break? We're not leaving here until you're convicted. I'm like, ooh, that's a little edge.
Are you serious?
So we go back in front of the judge and I'm like, I think I'm going to need to get a lawyer. The second time up. I hire a lawyer and he screws me. And on I went. So I was
Is this why you ultimately became an attorney yourself? Because this was
so
really.
I was convicted of possession of a firearm, unlawful possession of a firearm. And the lawyer did, by the way, the lawyer went to prison 30 years later. My lawyer.
For gun possession?
Yeah. The names of the innocent will not be protected. Larry Galata, okay, went to prison. For those of you in the Chicago area, he ultimately became the city attorney for Calumet City. Okay.
What did he do?
Something corrupt.
You don't know.
I don't remember.
So did you end up with a misdemeanor on your background?
Oh, okay.
Then but before that, I'd been charged with felony possession of drugs.
Oh.
And I went to court, and I don't know if Radine and Kathy are still with us. Kathy is Gary's sister. Radine is Gary's wife, He passed away. We talked about it. Gary and I got arrested around the same time, okay, for drugs. So we were
Great, gun possession and drugs except an arrest. They love you.
He hires some kind of hippy-dippy guy who's got the People's Law Office, right? My parents go out and hire some guy who says he's got all this experience with bank robbers. Well, the son of a bitch doesn't know anything about drug laws. So I got convicted. But they Nolly Prosecchi'd it. So it's not a conviction. All right. Listen, we're running out of time. I took another stroll down memory lane. I seem to do this, and you encourage it.
I know, because it's funny as hell.
You're incorrigible.
It's just so funny thinking of you. I mean, not only do you get arrested for gun possession and pointing it at someone, having it on you when you're not supposed to, but at the same time period, you get arrested for drug possession.
No, at the same time, I was 17 in the drugs.
Oh, okay.
21
Within a 4-year separation.
By the way, if you look at my rap sheet, Judge Olson does not appear on my rap sheet, although he sentenced me in the drug case, went to prison.
Oh my God.
And if you look at my gun case, J.J. McDonald, here's some irony for you, sentenced me in the drug case, according to my rap sheet. I don't think he was actually there. I don't know what that's about. He went to jail for pulling a gun out on Rush
No!
Street. Okay? Oh yeah, everybody in my events is land up in prison anyways. So
I mean, like Chicago corruption, but oh my God.
yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
Except that it's true.
As long as we're on that subject, I called my friend Candace in Chicago today when I saw Jussie Smollett's case. Candace is doing cases where the police framed guys and they went to prison for 15 years or more. And there's a torture commission in Chicago. And the torture commission, lawyers or non-lawyers, can bring their case before a torture commission in Chicago, Cook County. And they can plead that their conviction and or confession was a result of
being tortured,
tortured
nice.
by Lieutenant John Burge or others.
So are all the cases going to be overturned at this point?
Well, they're going one by one.
Right.
So she took one.
Are there hundreds?
She got one. She gets now to go back to court and ask for a new trial. First, you got to get past torture commission. She had another one. She went before the torture commission and said, listen, this guy's got an IQ of a retarded human being.
Mm-hmm.
And he was tricked and coerced.
Special needs.
And he was manhandled. But he never complained. He didn't know to complain.
Right.
So she went to the torture commission and said, listen, here's this guy's case. This is messed up. He needs relief. He's been in prison for 30 years.
Oh, no way.
So the torture commission said, listen, and this is Ken's version of what.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, there's 3 steps. Essentially said, listen, sounds bad, but he didn't do the stuff and it's not our case, but you should probably do something. So she has spent 2 years,
Oh.
3 years, 5 years. She's been trying to get him a new trial. And she finally got a judge to order a new fingerprint test because she said she went through the police file. And his fingerprints, he was printed multiple times, and the police report said he didn't match. And then suddenly matched, and he's in prison. So, so I said to her, there are so many, every time you pick up the newspaper, pick up the Chicago paper, somebody's being exonerated
Because of what happened in
because
the
of police
past.
misconduct.
Right.
And I said, how long can this go on? She said, this is going to go on for years.
I would think it would.
There are
go.
so
Yeah.
many. And this revolves around two property on the south side of Chicago. So almost all the victims, suspects, whatever you
Right.
want to call them, were black, because that's just the
Right,
nature.
right.
And so one was guilty of torturing, and this other cadre of homicide lawyers was found guilty of framing.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay? So you got all these cases that are
Oh,
coming
my
back
God.
into the court, and they're having to be relitigated. But these people have been
But
in
those
prison
poor
for a
people.
long time.
Okay, so, okay, I have a question.
And Lieutenant John Burge, I'm never going to get to him.
That's okay. I do have a question though.
Lieutenant John Burge, who was the lieutenant in charge of the homicide division, where they were putting car batteries on the testicles of these defendants.
Is that really true?
Oh, yeah. No, this is, there's, all went, it was investigated ultimately because so many people kept saying that. So what they did was, it was too late to try John Burge or his associates for the torture. Too much time had passed.
Right.
So they sued John Burge. He was sued in federal court.
Okay.
He took the stand and testified that he never tortured anybody. And so they charged him with perjury
Oh, wow.
on the basis that he lied about. If he just said, yeah, I tortured people,
Right.
but then he lost the civil case, but he probably didn't have much money. Anyways, so they got him 3 years in prison eventually. He died last year in Florida. He was retired, was probably smoking
Wow,
cigars.
that's
and having a
TV
good time.
stuff. I mean, that's the kind of stuff you see on TV that you're like,
Well, it was so
God.
obvious to the casual observer. The Wilson brothers supposedly shot a police officer. They arrested him and his brother, and they were in the back of a squad car. Apparently, one of them had a gun, shot the two officers. I don't know. I don't know if they did or didn't.
Right.
But they bring him out of the police station a day or two later, and he is so beat up. Okay, so
Yeah.
you understand,
Yeah.
police.
Right.
Yeah. But the story is, he tried to
Wow.
escape and fell into a radiator.
You're full of shit. I mean, sorry. You really seriously?
Yeah,
Is that what they said?
Yeah, that's what they said. They said he tried to.
oh my
he
God.
made a break for the window.
Come on, couldn't they have
old-
done a little bit better? That's really bad.
Old
That's
fashioned
weak.
radiator. So
That is, he fell in the. I don't
Chicago.
know.
So I said to my friend, this
Oh my
lawyer,
God.
I said, this is,
It's
you know,
weak.
you can't get through a week in without reading another case in Chicago of police misconduct. And I was telling her about the Dallas police officers that were planting chalk. Now, why does that upset me? So we had two cops.
What do you
here.
okay, explain planting chalk?
Okay, so two cops,
Mhm.
Dallas,
Mhm.
were arresting primarily Spanish-speaking
Mhm.
Mexican immigrants
Okay.
in auto body shops and places like
Okay.
that, and they were bringing in cocaine,
Oh.
bricks. Okay,
Okay.
and many of them pled out, but eventually somebody tested one of the bricks, and it
I
was
remember this.
pulled chalk,
I remember this.
and so these guys have been taking pleas
Mhm.
while these guys have been planting. And so what the cops were doing is they said they had a confidential informant. They were giving him thousands of dollars that the Dallas Police Department allocates for confidential. They
Right.
were paying this one guy who was then kicking back money.
Right.
And then they were planting pool chalk
Yes.
on these guys. Now, here's what really drove me insane. I had transplanted from Illinois. In Illinois, when you are accused of a drug crime, you're
Mhm.
accused.
Mhm.
You go to court on what's called a preliminary hearing. Don't you love the way I keep enlightening you about how the law works? At a preliminary hearing, you have to present evidence of a crime
Okay.
and the likelihood that this is the right person to charge with the crime.
Okay.
It's a two-part test, right? And so usually they just bring the cop in. It's pretty perfunctory. It's kind of an easy standard. But in a drug case, you also have to bring in the lab results.
Oh.
You know,
Seriously, how did they get away with that? Not knowing. Were they just
in
switching the
Dallas,
drugs?
check it out.
Were
Check
they
it out.
switching the drugs?
No. Let me tell.
Oh, I know,
What
I have to
happened?
guess. I have to guess. Can we have it?
Go ahead on with your bad self. Go ahead and guess. I can take it. So, hey, Brandon. Hey, Ernesto. Hey, Susan. Mary. They didn't test.
How could they
Before-
not test?
It's Dallas. Dallas had no policy. And can you imagine
That's so hard to believe.
Can you imagine being a criminal defense lawyer? Your client is charged with a drug crime, and you don't even make sure that there's a test. Even if my client was selling cocaine, I'd want to see the test results because maybe my client's
I
getting
mean, don't you
burned.
think that's kindergarten? A kid in kindergarten would
So
figure that one
they had to
out.
call all those cases back and send those people
I
home.
do remember all that happening because that was crazy.
And now they have a new policy. Before a person can plead, there has to be a drug test of these controlled substances. But that changed Collin County. Collin County says you don't have to test marijuana to say it's marijuana.
Oh my God.
Well, I don't understand. So I take a marijuana case. You know, my client says it wasn't marijuana; it was Indian spirit.
It was oregano.
It's cute you say that because that's the story. So I get to court, and this poor guy spent a couple of years, 9 years in prison,
Mhm.
had been trained as a big equipment operator,
Okay.
and been given a certificate, been given a letter from the warden saying, good guy, right? Came out within 9 months, brain tumor, had that.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. And so I don't know how many of you would know this. I think Brandon and some others of you would know this. You can't operate heavy equipment after that. Once you've had brain surgery, you have to go on a drug for seizure medication, and you're no longer allowed. So this guy can. But not even the worst of it. He's sitting in a rest stop with an open beer and a joint, or a
Okay.
small bag of, and this sheriff just walks over there. What you doing? What's that open? Like, of all the places, you're sitting there. Okay, he's not driving. Okay, so I get the case. I go to court and they say, well, we don't run tests on marijuana. That's ridiculous. The judge jams me up really good before trial with the jury. Okay, I'm still kicking ass. So we get to trial. They put the cop on the stand.
Mhm.
We pass the time. I'll try to fit it.
You're fine. Keep going.
The cop is on the stand.
Mhm.
Relatively young guy. Okay, what do you know about marijuana? Well, I've taken 2 police academies, and I was introduced to marijuana. DEA agent came in and showed us a bag of marijuana. How do you know it's a bag of marijuana? He said so. Okay, so you don't really know what it was. You know, all you know is what he told you. Yeah, it's true. How many marijuana arrests have you made? 10. I mean, in Chicago, they make 10 busts a week.
Right.
So I'm like, so how many times has it been tested? 0. So you don't know what is really marijuana because you've never had the opportunity. In no case have you ever handled marijuana that you know to have been tested positive as marijuana. Right. Sir, what is the difference in appearance between oregano and marijuana? I don't know. They're both green. Yeah, they sure are. You know, he says, I don't know. I'm like, I win.
Right. Exactly.
We got to go home.
Right.
This guy can't prove he even got him from marijuana, right? Collin County, no. They not only found him guilty anyways, they threw the book at him. Even after I showed the
Are you
stuff.
serious?
So up until the conviction, they don't know that he's a felon because I'm not putting him on the stand.
Right.
And that's not, they
Right.
can't
They
put
can't
that
put
in.
that. Right.
But for sentencing, they can put all this stuff in. And they're going to put in that when he was 18, he was arrested and convicted of burglary,
Right.
even though he's 29
I
now.
know.
Okay? So, you know, the jury's eyes light up. And the extent of the punishment is 18 months in jail and a $2,000 fine. That's the maximum.
Okay.
They give nothing. They give them no probation. They could just
How long did he get it?
18 months.
Did he
and a
really? The whole
$2,000
thing?
fine. So before they got there, just so everybody knows,
Man.
I walked out of court. There was another lawyer there, and I turned to her and I said, "This is a kangaroo court. I'm not participating in this." And Pam, my co-counsel, said, "I understand. You can go." Yeah, I literally, that's the only time I never.
You couldn't appeal the
finished.
case?
Well, it wasn't. It was Pam's case.
Oh, okay. Because I would have appealed it then.
On what?
Well, because you've proved, I mean, come on. They don't test it, so how can they prove that's, I don't
Apparently,
understand.
it is sufficient under Texas law that the officer
In
testified
Collin County.
that it appeared, well, each county can set its standards.
That's what I'm
for it.
saying. So in Collin County.
Oh, wait. I have a surprise for you.
What?
Say hello to Lisa Winters. Lisa, Mrs. Ken, my friend Ken. Yay. Remember the girl? Yay.
And by the way, Karen Topin is my sister.
Oh, really?
It's too bad she tuned in with 1 minute to go.
Oh, well.
And
So say
Paul
hi,
and
say hi to
Connie.
my friend Lisa because she's watching. Yay. Okay.
Wait. I wanted to finish the story.
Oh, I thought you were done. You left court.
Maybe. Oh,
And
no,
then I
no,
asked
no.
if you appealed, and you
Oh.
said no.
Wait, on my way out of court.
Did you have a joint?
Do you want to tell you that story? No! That was a good one, too.
It
About
was,
the time I got
it was
arrested.
a drug charge for
About
clients.
the time I got arrested at the court.
Oh my
So I'm coming out of the courtroom, Collin County. For
God.
those
No,
who are
I was
Texas.
thinking it was Chicago. Okay.
No, I'm saying after.
Oh,
the
after the trial.
I walked
Oh,
out.
Okay.
And I'm going through the lobby, and there's one woman sitting there because it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Most people closed up, and I must have, and I nodded to her. She said, "Bad day," and I said, "Kangaroo court,"
Right.
and she laughed and she said, I'm the judge's probation officer." She said, "And you're not the first one to say that."
Wow.
Yeah,
there you go.
So there.
There you have it.
So listen, the show's just about over, but I'll forget to tell AJ this.
What? What did you do?
I went to the Cook County Criminal Courthouse. By the way, my mother used to have to take me there when I was 17.
To the Cook County.
Criminal courthouse.
Okay.
The felony courthouse.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have a driver's license
Oh,
yet.
yeah. And you were charged as an adult.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I was 17 years old. I was charged as an adult. So my mother had taken me to court. She had drive me. There's really no way to get there.
That's really
Public
pathetic.
transportation.
I'm sorry. That's so pathetic. I don't even know what to say.
And they confiscated my mother's comb.
Okay.
Metal with the,
Oh.
what do they call it? The rat
Yeah, you could stab somebody with that.
confiscated my mother's comb.
Did she get it back when she left?
I think she did
Okay,
that.
good.
Yeah.
Good.
So, but I went in as a bodyguard when I was a social worker for a kid who got shot a bunch of times.
Okay,
Took
so you
5
decided that you were going to be a bodyguard for a kid who was shot a bunch of times. That was
Well,
great.
because he was shot by the Kings, and the Kings' home base is down the street from the courthouse. So he was unwilling to go to court on his own. He was scared.
So you decided,
I was
I'll
16.
protect somebody who
Well, I was a
wants,
social
who somebody's
worker.
after and going to shot.
I specialized in working with street.
Did you wear I know. Did you wear a vest?
No. And so Jose spoke English, but his mother did not. And this is where the story gets funny. So I get arrested going through the.
No! The attorney gets arrested?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, thank you. That's right, you're the social, but still, it's just as bad. The social
Wait.
worker.
Oh, the story's it's just beginning. It's kind of funny.
Oh my God.
So this old sheriff arrests me because he says, empty your pockets. I empty my pockets. And there's cash. I'm young. I was 24 years
Oh
old.
my God, you're a social worker, for God's sake, going to a courthouse. Were you that high that you forgot to take the hash out of your pocket?
I had a little bit over the weekend.
Oh my God. And you hadn't changed pants over the
Right.
weekend?
Of course not. I wore jeans 7 days a
Oh my
week.
God, you changed your pants. It's
Oh, that's
gross.
ridiculous.
You changed your pants.
Oh,
Oh my God.
listen, we're overtime. But so they take me away, and this woman doesn't speak English. the mother.
Yeah.
So she's like, "Donde vas, Ken?" You
Yeah,
know,
where are you going?
yeah, ¿qué haces? ¿Qué
Right,
haces?
right,
And
right.
I'm like, listen, you go up to the courtroom. I'm not going to be able to join you right now. I'll get with you as soon as I can. Off we go to the sheriff's office, and they chain me to the wall. They got the hook to come,
Oh my
you know,
God.
and I'm being booked by the lady.
How much hash? This
What do you call
match?
it? Yeah, oh yeah. No,
Yeah, like a
not
quarter.
even that.
Like a
Oh,
dime. Nickel.
Yeah, I would say
Oh,
about $30 worth. So,
God, you were a dumbass sometimes.
no, I was a dumbass all the time.
Okay, there we go. At least the truth is out. Oh my
So
God.
I'm literally handcuffed to a wall.
God.
They're booking me, and the lady says, "What's the story?" Luckily, it was a black woman, because I'm gonna tell you, I know the Cook County Sheriff's Office ain't got a lot of concern for a Jewish social worker. So you're a professional social worker. Yeah, we're talking. She's booking. Bang on the door because it's locked.
Right.
They open the door. Here comes this Mexican woman. Gang.
Oh,
no!
Oh.
And the sheriff's like, "What in the world is going on?" And I said, I was supposed to be protecting that boy. He was shot 5 times, and
Right.
fourth floor. And she said, she thought for a moment. She said, "I'm gonna let you out of here." She said, "But don't you ever."
Bring anything back in here again.
And for the next 20 years, even though I stopped using drugs in 1983, 82, I searched myself.
Every time you went.
Even as a lawyer, I would brush my.
That's a smart thing
Well,
to do.
because when I owned the DFW gun range, they invited me to talk to a group at the courthouse.
Yeah.
Who is the county sheriff then?
Don't ask me.
Okay, he was very
Me with
famous.
names is no good.
The two of us were presenters,
Okay.
and I ran up the courtroom stairs with my briefcase, and something told me to stop and step back and open up the briefcase. And that was this 25 semi that I hadn't even thought about.
Yeah.
Ran back down the car. Because if you go into the
Yeah,
car,
that's not good.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, that's not good.
So you asked me, am I a dumb?
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Anyways, that's it. That's it. So, sorry. I get a laugh out of those things.
That's just unbelievable. I saw it in school all the time. I saw kids in school with, oh my God. And they bring stuff to school and the cops were there and it was just stupid. At least the cops at school would throw it away
Oh, that's how I got fired from the police academy.
because you would throw stuff away.
No. The first day of school,
Mhm.
I would always give a lecture on don't bust people for pot.
Oh.
I won't name the police academy.
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
It wasn't part of the curriculum or the syllabus. And so I would do a class in the semester, and I would always open up with, how many of you, I would do this,
Right.
how many of you know somebody, a family or friend,
Mhm.
who smokes pot? Everybody.
Right.
And I said, now, would you want that person, do you think that person belongs in jail?
Right.
Okay, but you're about to become a police officer. What are you going to do
Yep.
when you pull over a car and the guy's got a bag of pot?
Yep.
Well, I'm going to tell you what you're going to do if you arrest him. You're going to book him, and he's going to come to me. And he's going to spend half of your salary, and So I give this lecture before I get into whatever the topic.
And this lecture was not approved, correct?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't approved. Yeah.
The syllabus, or I think the name of the class was use of force.
Okay.
Because I know lethal use of force under the law. And so I did that, and there was a young director who liked me. He didn't care. He knew I was good,
Right.
right? Well, he quit, and they hired this guy who'd been a cop for 30 years. He
Oh,
retired.
Lordy.
So somebody sent in an evaluation. Well, two things happened. The entire class flunked my section when they took the state exam.
Oh, because they
That
said,
reflected poorly on me.
you think? You think? Kevin, I would have thought you would have made a good teacher. What the hell happened?
Oh, I made the material and asked me if you have questions.
No,
Otherwise,
it doesn't work that way.
So the next day,
Oh my
I asked if there were
God.
questions. Nobody had
My
any.
students out there watching this, aren't you glad you had me as your teacher
So-
and not Ken?
What I should
Oh.
have done, I should have read the whole statute.
Okay.
Gone through all that, a line at a time. But I thought they'll read it tonight, and next time we meet, if you have questions, I'll answer them.
No, kids don't do that.
Well, they weren't
College
kids.
students don't do that.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
So when they took the state exam,
They knew
'cause you have
nothing.
sections, right? And so the use of force thing, the entire class flunked.
Because you were telling them you were telling them see, they finally fire you from this job.
So I get called in.
Okay, yeah.
And dude
You needed to
says,
get fired
They
from that
said
job.
you're advocating, somebody said you're advocating pot use. I said, I'm not advocating pot use. No, that's not, I said, this is what I'm doing. You know, he wasn't very sympathetic.
No, I
So I
imagine
said,
not.
listen, don't fire me and I'll make this right. I will teach them, because they can retest the section.
Okay.
And he made the mistake of letting me go in the class that day. He fired me, but he let me go into the
Oh,
class.
that's awesome. That's freaking awesome, dumbass.
Fires me.
Oh, no,
and
that's not
sends me
good.
into the classroom.
That is not good. Oh.
I thought it was a wonderful.
It's sort of like firing somebody and then letting you on the radio station.
So I got up
That
there
is
and I
bad.
said, somebody
It's
said
just
that.
bad.
Somebody reported that I was, one, advocating the use of pot, and two, that I said I use pot. I said, and you, whoever you are, you're a liar.
Right, because you never said that.
Yeah, and you're the kind of guy.
Now he was, but he never said that.
No, I was clean then.
Oh, okay.
I said, you're the kind of guy, this was just
Right.
15 years ago.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I said, you should never be a cop because you're the kind of son of a bitch that lies on his police report. You're exactly what I've been lecturing
Right.
about the wrong kind of human being
Right.
to be a cop. You are scum.
Ooh.
And yeah. And then class was over and a couple of the guys came up to me and said, we think it was that guy. He's kind of a snake. All right, so anyways, that was fun. Show's way over time. People hung up, people got off the air. I don't know what to tell you. Finish the show, will you?
Okay. Well, we didn't get to the article, the drug thing that we'll talk about that next week because that's very interesting. Okay. Yeah, we'll get to that next week. Poor Ken's got a headache. Thinking about it. Okay, can I tell a real quick story? So when I was at Sunset, okay, high school teaching, my peacemakers class left my classroom, and this was decent kids.
Reduce gun
These
violence?
kids.
Is that what that is?
No, peacemakers, sort of. And somebody had dropped a little baggie of marijuana, okay, on the floor. So I pick it up and I go out in the hall and I go, anybody lose their marijuana? Anybody? All the kids, nobody would come near me. They all walked a big circle around me. I'm like, anybody lose their marijuana? Anybody lose their? Everybody
Some poor
laughing.
kid lost his
I know. I went and we flushed it. So yeah, I know, right?
Well, you remind me of another dozen stories, but
Okay,
it's
but
time
that's
to
okay.
go.
That's okay.
All
All right. This is Ken Goldberg with Ken
So
Goldberg's
tell
Law
them,
and Disorder.
how to find us.
Okay, well, tell them your website. I know. Don't say the www.
Law-disorder.com.
Yes,
YouTube channel, Ken Goldberg's.
that's right. Law and Disorder.
Disorder.
Mhm.
And then you can call me for legal representation. You can come to my meditation Wednesday nights,
Oh,
8
yeah.
o'clock, 84.
No, 7:00
7 o'clock.
at the
84.
Buddhist Center on Stoltz Road, and it's awesome. People from all different religions go. It's wonderful. You can find Ken's phone number on Ken Goldberg's website or Ken Goldberg's Law and Disorder. And I am AJ. What do you want to say?
Let me just say that I teach meditation. So you just watched me being manic for an hour.
Yes.
So if I can meditate,
Yeah, it's pretty
Anybody
miraculous,
can
actually.
meditate,
That's
right?
correct. That
Yeah.
is correct.
clearly you don't
Yes.
have to be mellow to be meditating.
And Ken Goldberg will be at the Cosmic Yogi Festival coming up April 20th. Maybe we should do this somewhere next week and people can come by and get coupons or free tickets or something. I don't know. But Cosmic Yogi Festival is on 4/20. Okay, so, and Ken and I are sober.
I went with Milkshake Marty, by the way.
I know, I heard.
Yeah,
You didn't
I'll
take
talk
me.
about it next week.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Dallas Yoga Magazine, CosmicYogiMovement.com. See y'all later. Love y'all.
Happy trails to you.
Stop. I'm Oak Cliff.
Until we meet again. See, you're still watching. I'm just trying to figure out how to end.
Ow, this
video.
hurt my ears today.
Right. I'm sure. When
See,
Kathy came back. We took so long. Kathy went to dinner and came back, but I don't know how to turn this one off. It must be, hold on.
end stream.
Oh,
It's just right in the middle in front in red.